Hi, my name is Mr. Insecurity, and with me I have Whitney and Jim Rat, and we have two ideas that we're going to be presenting today. Our first idea we based off the modular safe room, and we came up with the automatic safe blinds. And with this, our statistics are within the last year, 23 schools have endured school shootings, and that is not accounting for natural disasters that have affected multiple more schools. So our idea was a efficient, safe way to save cost by helping the vulnerable areas of the classroom instead of having to cost an entire school made of high-end materials that would cost a lot more money. So we really wanted to pinpoint what the problems would be and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Jim Rat to explain a little bit more of our construction of our design.
So with the construction of our design, we thought more of like a garage door aspect to it, and with this it will be detachable and movable, so you can just screw it on top of the ceiling and it will come down in front of windows and doors to secure it. And if a school were to close or they needed to move it to a different area, it could easily be unscrewed and moved over and work just as good. And so now Whitney will talk about the design.
Okay, so not only does our design add value as far as cheapness goes, but also more efficient, and our model will explain more about that. So the first picture has a group of students, whether that be elementary, middle school, high school, or college level students. And then the next picture shows a type of emergency, so whether that be shootings, natural disasters, or any other emergency that may occur in the schools. So rather than the teacher having to move a bunch of stuff to protect the students or run over and lock the door, all they have to do is go over to their desk, which this little button is installed in all of the teachers' desks right by their right-hand drawer. So all they have to do is pull that lever, and that releases the drop-down garage door kind of aspect. So the garage door will slowly move down and cover from the top of the window to the bottom of the window. So when we hung these, or when the construction is going to be hung, they line up with the ceiling trim and then like above the window, obviously, so they cover the window from the top to the bottom.
Now, as Whitney stated, emergencies can happen at any time, and it's a very fast-paced process, and we wanted the teachers to have control over that process in a very quickly manner, and that's why we came up with the sliding model idea. So now we are going to transition into our next idea, and our next idea is based off a thermal target. And with that, we came up with the night vision pop-up tent. And with the night vision pop-up tent, we really wanted to create a element to our product that had a multi-purpose use to it. And with 42 million hikers in the U.S. right now, over 18,000 of these hikers have to call in search and rescue teams to be saved from a situation, whatever that might be in. Of these 18,000, there are around 1,000 casualties that are not found or lost in the process and never seen again. So with our products, we really wanted to make this number go down, and with that, we created something that can withstand multiple elements at one time. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Jim Rat to explain a little bit more of the construction of our pop-up tent.
So with the construction, we wanted it to be easily accessible and able to be carried around with them while they're hiking, so we made it into a backpack, which will have the 4 rods in it, and it's going to be lightweight. And so whenever you unzip the backpack, the rods will come together and pop up the tent, which will then activate the thermal part of it to create heat for hypothermia, and even to create that thermal to be able for aircrafts to see a bigger target than just one person when looking. And so with that, I'm going to give it to Whitney to talk about the design.
So once again, does our design not only a cheaper option for hikers, but it's also multi-purpose. So with that, we created a backpack that, as they've mentioned, can turn into a tent. And the backpack and the tent obviously will be neon orange. So once again, our module will explain more about that. So the hiker has his backpack on. It's going to be neon orange, and then in the emergency of him or her getting lost, their tent will pop up with the thermal target kind of radiating that energy off of that. So in this picture, you can kind of see the target area. So that's what the aircrafts will see when they're looking for the lost hikers. Jim Rat talked about that square footage of them being able around the target, with it being that certain distance. So when the aircrafts are searching for these through their night vision goggles, they're looking for those tents. They're going to see something similar to this. So when they're looking for that, similar to when you're driving at night and you see bikers with the reflectors on or even the orange vest, you become more aware. So the aircrafts are also going to become more aware of the tents that are radiating that energy.
And with that, it's very important to remember that hikers don't always expect for these conditions to happen. Whether they go out for a 2 or 3 hour hike and this turns into a catastrophe when they might have to stay 24 or 40 hours and they don't have anything on them. So our product really helps with this. It's just a backpack, you can throw it on, it's easy accessible. There's other products out there that are safety that companies such as Coleman make, but these products don't have the 3 elements that we have based in one, whether it's just an orange tint with silicone around it to keep someone warm. Well, there's no electricity or power, so our product is there to help with situations that they don't account for. Thank you.